Welcome to GHT Time. This is the General Hospital Daily Review for Thursday, June 25th. So, who's been drinking the clueless juice? Let's find out what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. If you guess Dante and Lulu, you're 100% correct. The reason why I say this is they are not moving with any kind of real urgency. They're not really assessing the situation to see how grave it is. They're kind of seeing it, but they're not really seeing it because if you really see it, you wouldn't be sitting here arguing with Britt, right? You would get your son and you would get up on out of there. But no, they want to tell Britt everything she did wrong. You did this, you did that, you did this. Now, Britt wasn't right. That kid is a minor. She shouldn't have took that kid up on out of there. He got parents. But I understand why she did it because she was like, these two weren't moving fast enough, right? I mean, Lulu did try to go get a passport and stuff like that to see if they could leave town, but she still wasn't moving fast enough to get him out of there. And then Dante was just like, he didn't do nothing at all, right? He got his whole father means and everything over there. He ain't call that man for nothing. So they upset. They still arguing with Britt. Why don't y'all get up on out of there? Here comes Rocco. Now Rocco's upset. He's upset because he was like he wanted to try to get Brit her medication, so he had called Charlotte and them. He said, of course Nathan would have told my parents I shouldn't have did that, and all this other kind of stuff. So Britain is telling him, calm down. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I understand. I'm gonna be able to take care of myself. Lulu and Dante are telling him, leave her. Let's go. Now Rocco ain't gonna want to leave her. He went with her. Like he went with her. He's not gonna leave this woman. She's sick. She's whatchamacallit. These people are after her too. You think he's just gonna go with y'all and not cause a fuss? Okay, yeah, okay, that's not happening. And again, these two, right? Gonna sit there blaming Britt for everything that happened. They was talking about what if he was around you and this is the reason why these people. No, Rocco inserted himself into this woman's life. Y'all gotta stop blaming everybody else for what this kid is doing. That kid taller than both of them, right? He don't seem stupid. He seemed like he know what he doing. Stop it. Hold him accountable for what he's doing. All this came down because he wanted to be involved with Britt, and now they're all in this situation. But Rocco did say, listen, I'm not going anywhere unless Britt is coming with us. So they need to come on and take Britt. And I don't know where they're going, but they all four of them are going together because Rocco ain't going nowhere with them. But I feel for Britt. She got that medication. As soon as she inject herself with that, I don't know. I think they all headed back to Port Charles after that because I feel like she's going to be hanging on by three threads. But we'll see what happens with this. Now, this one is specifically for Lulu, right? She's double dipping in that clueless juice. So Gia called Charlotte down to the pool because she heard that Dante and Lulu went out to go look for Rocco. So he was just making sure she was okay. He was like, any sister of Rocco is a sister of mine. So he's looking out, big brother style. That's a good guy, Gia. So Charlotte was like, good, thank you for looking out for me and everything like that. But she was like, she's okay staying at her grandmother's. And he said, what? He tried to call Danny, but no luck. And she was just like, well, her and Danny ain't close no more. Remember, Danny done shut her out because he don't want to hear nothing she got to say. So, but he was like, no, give Danny, some chance. He's high-headed or whatever, but he'll come around. As they're talking, the agent is sitting at the table. He calls whoever, probably Cullum, to say, I got eyes on her. I'll have her shortly. Like they getting ready to pick Charlotte up. I said, listen, I hope Gio sees this and I hope Gio can fight so he can help Charlotte get away. But the reason why I said Lulu sipping from that clueless juice, these people are in they're gone, right? Rocco's gone, Lulu's gone, Dante's gone. You don't think that Cullen would pick up your daughter as collateral to get this boy? Come on, Lulu. Come on. They not thinking with their head straight. Like I said, Laura, yes, Laura could take care of Charlotte if it was a normal circumstance. This is not normal. All of them should have been in hiding. You get what I'm saying? Like the Sunny should have been on call. They should have been on Sunny's private island waiting this thing out. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think down in the comment section, but I don't know, guys. This is kind of crazy. I'm like, they not really thinking this out. But my little agent icon guy, that's gonna be for every agent. I don't care what the agents look like. They're all generic to me. We're gonna use that as our agent icon. But yes, we'll see what happens with this. But Lulu, bad parenting 101. Tracy was 100% on point today, right? Chase went down there to talk to Tracy. He apologized for what he did, and he should. He should be thanking her for letting him stay in that house. Because I was Tracy, I would have kicked him out. But he put it out there. He was like he apologized and stuff like that. And then he went down and he was talking about Brooklyn and this whole situation. But she was just like, well, what does Brooklyn have to say about this situation? Brooklyn don't say much. That's I said the same thing. I was like, why is Brooklyn not saying nothing? He's like, he thinks Brooklyn's okay with all of this because she ain't saying nothing. She must be good with it. On top of that, Tracy put it out there. She was like, did you spend this much time with Willow when she was with Michael? Chase got quiet, right? Notice that. I didn't even think about that until Tracy said it. No, he did not spend that much time when what you call it. You didn't even see Chase around her. All of a sudden, he over there. And then at the end of everything, Tracy was kind of like, "You're neglecting your wife," and he was gonna argue about it for a second, but then she said no. She was like, "You spending all this time over there. Brooklyn's not saying much." But you need to start spending some more time. He said, you're going to break up your family just by neglecting, not even cheating, just not being around. So it seemed like Chase finally got a little clue. He went over there to talk to Brooklyn at that the Metro Court, and the clue ran out the window. Joe is funny. He was talking to Justine, and he was just giving Justine a rundown about how he went to Willow's house. And he gonna ask her, can he get a search warrant based on some blanks? I was like, what? No, you can't have a search warrant based on some blanks. So he was telling her, he tried to talk to Willow and everything like that. But when he got a chance, he was talking to Congressman Kane, and he was saying that Willow was on that road during the night of the Jordan and Curtis accident. He goes, how would Drew know that? I still said that. I said it yesterday. Drew wouldn't know that. There's no way he would know where she was at. He knows she's out the house, but he don't know she's on that road. But I don't know what they did. They did some this and that, and they was able to get a little warrant to go get Willow. I'm like, this is dumb. I Yes, Willow needs to be investigated, but them putting this together to get her search warrant and everything like that, I don't know. But Joe did put Chase on the radar because he did tell Justine, guess who was at the house when I was trying to talk to her? He was like, Chase. And he said, on top of that, Chase told her basically not to talk to him, right? And Justine filled Joe in on, she thinks that Chase was the one that got rid of that evidence about the traffic cam footage when Willow was on trial. So they seeing some connection there and stuff like that. We know Chase didn't do that, but still and yet, Chase is putting everything on the line. My next standalone video, guys, I'm not just talking about Brooklyn losing everything. Chase is getting ready to lose a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do one of those on Chase too, because he don't make any kind of sense. But we'll see what happens with this. So Laura was talking to Willow, and Willow was doing 100% bootlicking with Laura, right? So they over there talking about some kind of something they're gonna do for Congress, get some thing for some child thing passed and everything. They're very excited about this project they're working on. Now, before, like I said, Willow is a good congressperson, right? She's just loopy, right? She got a lot of stuff going on. If she could just stay on being a congressperson and kick Drew out, we could probably get some stuff done. But she's just crazy. She's gonna wind up in jail cell. Anyway, Laura is sitting there talking to Willow, and they wrapping they thing up. Laura had to go take a phone call, and here go Willow. She sees Brooklyn sitting there with baby Phoebe. That baby is so cute. And she gonna come over to Brooklyn, and she talking about, can I hold the baby? No, you gonna get your ick on her. It's like, Brooklyn, you see her face, she's just all twisted up. She's like, okay, so she let her hold the baby. While they're there talking, they bring up the whole thing about the adoption and all this other nonsense. But Brooklyn is sitting up there just playing her, like she just loved Willow too. Curtis came up later, and Curtis and Willow had a whole meeting. It's so funny. They have these meetings at the pool, right? Somebody brought that up in the conversation. I didn't even think about that. I said people in there with suits and pantsuits and all types of stuff at the pool. Why y'all not at the training center downstairs or something like that, or the meeting room? But anyway, they gonna have their little meeting. Who comes in later with oh wait, Curtis, I'm not Curtis. Chase came in to tell Brooklyn, I wanted to just talk to you because I think that, we need some things to talk about. I think he was going to talk about what him and Tracy talked about, because Tracy was, member. She said that whole thing about Chase is being neglectful, right? So he was getting ready to say something, but here comes Joe. Joe Fitzpatrick comes in, and he had a warrant for Willow. And he brought it up to Willow. He said, listen, we got to check your car for that accident between Jordan and Curtis. Now, remember, Willow sitting there talking to Curtis. So they all looking. So that's it for that. Girl, I told you, if you guys haven't looked out, I did a little standalone video about Brooklyn losing a whole bunch of stuff. This plan, that's why I said I wish she had abandoned this plan. She just threw her husband into this woman's arms. He is going to be over there 24/7, 7 days a week, trying to clear Willow's name. And everything that she wants, that she thinks this plan is going to give her, is going to backfire. Danny. Danny got to stop getting in trouble because he's just making Drew's case even greater. Drew gonna come out of that blocked in thing, and Danny ain't never gonna see poor Scout. But he went over to the WSB place. I'm like, boy, please stay from over there. And he wants demanding to see his father to the point where he gonna climb the fence. I'm like, don't do this, right? I thought he was gonna go talk to his grandmother. He did not do that, right? He went over here to the WSB. So poor Alexis, she at the thing as his lawyer, right? Not even grandma today, she's lawyer. And they like, if the WSB want to press charges, they can. Listen, Hill comes in, Cullum. Cullum is like, why were you there? And I'm like, this shows you that he ain't got no feelings, no nothing. Because we already know he don't have any feelings. Why you think that boy is there? He can't even understand why Danny want to talk to his father. He just seemed clueless about that. He just like, well, like, so I'm just like, what? How do you understand this boy wants to see his dad or talk to his dad? Send him a letter, anything. Where is he? Cullum did tell him, he put him on warning. He said, if you go back over there, yeah, ain't gonna be no slap on the wrist. They're gonna do something else. So I don't know. Hopefully Danny takes this into consideration. He did not say anything about Rocco. I thought he was gonna go over to WSB and tell him that Rocco did it and let his father free, but he didn't do that. He said he's gonna honor his father's wishes. Yes, your father took the blame for Rocco. Keep your mouth shut. We'll see what happens with this. Jordan and Curtis was catching up, and Jordan was telling Curtis she's looking into where Sidwell might be. I was like, how would she know? Like, she didn't know nothing about this man. The only thing she knew was about the logistics stuff that they did. But anyway, she got all these files and stuff out, and Curtis went on about his way to his meeting. She called Laura over. Laura was helping her go through the papers to see if they could figure out where Sidwell might be. So I thought it was going to be a whole nothing burger, but it seemed like they found this deed to this place that Sidwell had bought for Marco and Lucas once they get married, right? So who knows? Maybe Sidwell is camping out in there, but he right now he's at Willow's house. I don't think Sidwell's crazy enough to go stay there, and I don't know. I think they're just looking for something for Jordan to do, but it's like you don't know nothing about this man. Go find another job, Jordan, and leave this whole Sidwell thing alone. Josh was talking to Cassius, and she's trying to convince Cassius to do something, right? She was like, "Well, you got to save us, get us out of here." Cassius thinks the best way for them to get out of this whole situation is by Liesel finishing the project, and then he said he know Cullum, and he'll be able to maneuver through Cullum and get them all out of this. What delusional juice you drink? He drinking that same juice that Dante and, and Lulu drinking, right? Once this project is finished, he is going to eliminate all of them because they all know that he's a dirty agent. Why would he leave any of them alive? All of them need to go, including Sylwell. Everybody, right? Everybody that had any kind of inkling about what was going on, he's going to get rid of. That's how I feel. You can let me know how you feel down in the comment section. But Josh wants him. She's like, if you're not going to go stop the project or turn him in, then give me a gun. And he's like, he ain't gonna do that because that'd be crazy because she's gonna turn the gun on him and say, let me out of here. But Josh is kind of like, she gonna get herself out of here. Just give her a chance. But Cash is not doing that. He don't think that that's the best way. He think the best way, finish the project and wait. Finish the project and wait is going to get you out of here gone. He needs to go drop an anonymous thing and go on run. That's what he needs to do. He call the PCPD and say, listen, Josh and Lisa is down in that basement. I'm letting you know, and I'm going. But Josh did say, and this is who I feel bad for too, is James. Everybody else is whatever. They all adults. James is who I feel bad for because no matter how this ends, it's not good. He gonna know that this man's not his father. If he goes on a run, his father left him. It's all kind of just not. It's not gonna be right, right? So anyway, guys, that was this episode. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys always. Again, that comment section is where it's at. You guys need to go down there. It's hysterical, and I get some really good feedback. Guys, I love thumbs up, smiley faces, and encouraging words. And don't forget to hit that bell notification and to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And thank you for joining us again at GHT Time. Till next time, bye.